We're gonna merge. And I'm tired. So we want we're gonna solve something really basics. I think that should work. Down. I guess this is the first video. I guess this is the first video. Apparently, I have some echoing issues. Why would that be? Okay, yeah. So my monitor was on. What's that? Oh, you're not supposed to see this. And yeah, here we go. I think I did fix most of the issues. Should be working fine now. For now, I'm just gonna turn off my desktop audio as there is nothing that you need to hear. Otherwise, maybe I'll just play some music and you guys can enjoy it at the same time. But I'm afraid that might cause me some issues later on. You know, those copyright things are not really helpful. And is that? And or I'll just get my music on. Okay? Just a second. I'll tell you how it works, how I'm planning to do things. Today we will be talking about basic stuff only, recursion. I'll be going through the questions that I had like been through once, and I'll pick up some questions that I've never seen before. Basic idea will be to, you know, have some practice, and if any one of you wants to like tag along, you can code along with me, or if you want, you can. Yeah, that's right. Music is done. So, like, if you want to code with me, you can definitely join and you can code along. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna uh, like pick up a question like here. So, what I did was I had a source, I copied the questions from there. I can assure you that I do not have the answers for them right now. As we progress, we will code along, and I'll make a drive that will be available to everyone later on, and you can get the question as well as the code from there itself. Okay, so the first question is, I'll just snap it here, snap this here. And let this be this big. I think this is enough. If anyone is seeing, please let me know that. Can you guys like see the size? Is the size okay? Somebody let me know in the chat if anyone is seeing. Is it visible? Maybe I'll just increase the size. I don't know. I think it's fine for me. Since you're watching this, you must be in a laptop or a computer, so you must be having a screen big enough to see what's going on. And I really suggest that you watch this video in 1080 pixels, otherwise you'll have some issues figuring out like what's written or not. And editor, advanced settings. Where do I change the size? Hey, someone knows? I've never changed it before, so I don't know. Source code display, tools, line art, character, apparatus. What appearance? I think it must be an appearance. Like size. I think this apply. Okay, that's too big. 13 apply. Yeah, I think this is fine. So everyone can see. I'll reduce this. Okay, so our first question is to write a program to find x to the power n and take x and n from the user. Known for this question, you can assume that 0 raised to power of 0 is 1. So we're going to take input of two integers x and n separated by space. Okay, and x raised to power n should be the format. Okay, I got it. So constraint is x is not okay this. So we shouldn't worry about this. Maybe we will put a constraint and now we'll show that there is an error. But for now, let's just start. So we have to define a function which will be called, I don't know, power. And in power, what we're gonna do it first, we're gonna talk about the base condition. So they asked us to consider that anything raised to power 0 is going to return us 1. So like in power, we're going to pass on two things, which is x and n. And given if x is equals to 0, we're going to do what? Uh, Rather n equals to 0. We're going to return this, return 1, right? So we do not have to specify that 1 is an integer over here. By default, it's an integer. But if you want to return a string, I'm just saying, like, it's not necessary over here, but if you wanted to return a string, you would have done like this. But since we don't need a string, we need an integer. So we're just going to return a 1 over here. Next, we define what we have to do. So we're going to attach a for loop, rather a while loop. We don't have to use, of course, I forgot. We're going to do recursion play. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this function again, power for value x, comma n minus 1. And what it's going to return is, so what we're going to do is return n into power of this should do, right? Because see, if n is a function, like is a number, and for some reason we're going to get like x raised to power n minus 1 into x is going to give us x into x raised to power n. So this is going to work fine, I guess. And I shouldn't have added this, I guess. I forgot how does it work. Silly me. I'll be honest, I didn't do coding for a long time. It's been almost a year, so I'm just kidding. Function. Python. Is it for function? Uh, I don't think so. It's if condition. Yeah, it used to be like this only. Why is it showing here invalid syntax 5 clicks? Why is it invalid? How come it's invalid? No, 5 clicks. See. Oh, okay, okay. I forgot. Yeah. Now it should be fine. Okay, now, what should I do now? I should write the driver code. So what it's requiring is going to take input and okay. Usually when I prefer like taking the input in form of continuous characters taken in string format or like in this case integer format in an array. So what we're gonna do is define a list, and in this list we're going to put integers. So like int x maybe, and for all values of our x in for all integers that is going to get input, we're going to do split. And since in split, like if you want to like specify like what kind of split you want, like if you want spacebar or like something like dot, so every integer like 1 dot 2 dot 3 dot like this, but we by default it's set to space and we want space separated, so that's fine. And then what we're gonna do is, so we now know that the first thing is integer x, so we're going to do L0, and then n equals L of 1. And now what we're going to do is first we're going to check that constraints are met. Okay, so by the time I should also write hash. What is this? This is the function hash driver code. I know usually people don't do this for such small codes, but I prefer doing it for, later on if you want to go review a code, it's a good habit. And this is checking constraints. So if x, okay, rather I'll do like this. If x is greater than equal to, rather I'll just do it like I'll go for the negative one. Or should I put it in a while loop or ask to do it again? Okay. While flag equals true. What we're gonna do is define a flag. Flag equals true. If but then I'll have to there's no way to jump from here to here, right? So then I'll have to ask for input again. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. If but the question doesn't ask for the same, right? It's just going to ask us to end. But anyway, we can just leave it over here and okay, wait, I'll just hash rather I'll just do this. We'll talk about it later. No, 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 no. First, we're going to check if the function is working properly, alright? So we're going to return, or rather print power, the power requires x and n. I think they should work. We're going to save it. Sorry, save it in desktop practice. Let's run it. We require two inputs, 2 comma 3. And what? Oh, my bad. 2 comma 4, 16. I'll run it again. 8 comma 3. That's the highest I can go for 8. Okay, so we know our function is working correctly. Now let's check for that. While if x is greater than 8 or or x is less than 0 or n is supposed to range from 0 to n, right? So what we're gonna do is go from n, if n is less than 0 or n is greater than 9. If so, we're going to do print. Here we're going to print a string that says input value out of range, enter again. We're going to do this. I'm going to paste it over here. And now what we're going to do is else we're going to return flag equals to false. Yeah. I think it should work. So I'm going to do 12. Okay, index out of range. I didn't put 2 letters. That was my bad. Acha, I have to check for this also, right? I have to make a case where they put only one or more. 12 space 3. Input value index out of range. Enter again. Okay, I didn't specify what is the index. 1 space 15. Value index out of range. 2 space 5. Okay, now we're stuck in a loop for what? Are we able to change it, like why it is doing that to us? 2,4. It's happening again. So what is the mistake over here? Oh, we are not specifying this. Okay. It should 100% work right now. If it doesn't, I should leave the stream. Ah! Yeah, I should leave the stream. Okay, why it is happening? Shouldn't be happening like this. So we know we put a flag equals to true over here. So while flag is true, keep checking it, keep doing it unless it's so if x is greater than 8 or x is less than 0, the first condition for x, or n is this. I don't know why it's happening. It shouldn't happen. We're going to stop it. So it shouldn't be happening like this. So it's happening in line 17. I know it's happening in line 17 in text. So someone's knocking my door, guys. I'll be back. Wait up, guys. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm back. I should have made a be right back scene as well. Anyways, so okay, we're working on this. The problem over here is we're changing it and then we print it. So we know that it's not going to, it's working. Shouldn't be happening like this, right? Does anyone in the chat know how to fix this? Wait, I'll try again. Okay, so 2 comma 3 should work, right? What? 12 comma 5. Okay, now the input value is out of range. Now we're going to try 2 comma 3. Oh, it's working. It shouldn't be working, right? It was not working at this time. See, what is wrong with this code, bro? Okay, we'll check it again. 12 comma 5, 12 space 5. The input value is out of range, so we're going to put it correctly. 3 comma 6. 729. I don't know if it's true. Wait, let me check. Where's my calculator? Oh, I'll just pop up here. 3 square square divided by 3 divided by 3. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, guys. So yeah, okay. Our first code is working correctly, and we're going to save it. No. We should change its name. What? How do I change its name? Oh, I can always go to practice and change it there. I'll change its name to what was that? Question number 1. I'll just change it to 1 and save. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to open up another question. And here it is. Yes. Given an array of length, and you need to find and return the sum of all elements to this recursively. All right, fine. So first we're going to function. First we're going to do the function code. So def returns rather sum of array. Don't hate me not using underscore, please. We're going to return the array list maybe, and then what we're going to do, the base case is if length of list is equal to 0, return L 0 0. So, okay, now there are two ways of approaching this, right? Okay, I'll open a notepad. Maybe what is that? Paint. Okay, hear me out. So there's two way of approaching this. First, what we're going to do is we're going to make an array, right? We suppose we have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 elements. So either what we're going to do is we're going to go to the last, pick it up, and then say, yeah, now this is the last. We are going to return this. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go here next, and we're going to add this to this one, and then make sure that this is the last and this is removed. We're not going to destroy the array as it's like not global. It's going to be limited to the function. And then similarly, we're going to return this to this, this to this, this to this, and this to this. And finally, when we reach this will be the last section. And the length of this will be 1. My bad. Yeah, so the length of the array will be 1. And here what we're going to do is we're like going to return the sum out of function. Another way is I mean, you had 1 2 3 1 2 3 6, right? Yeah, we're going to call, like we're going to restore this, and we're going to call this whole to return us a sum, and we're going to add this sum, and we're going to do this first part of array, and then we're going to return this. So I think this looks fine. The second one, I mean, okay, I have to consider about the timing as well. So every time we go over here to the end, suppose there are 6 of them. So when we're going to go to the end, every time we are going to calculate this, the last part, and put it in a stack. Right, this is how recursion works. We put things in stack, and then we use it once we reach the condition part. We're going to put this into the stack after adding it. So the stack here will be single use, like there will be only one variable which is going to hold this value, and it's going to return and return and return and return until the fact that it's not going to this part, like directly. It's going through this and this, so we're going to store actually whole lot of it in the stack. I think it will be the same. I don't think it will be any different, so they should work out fine, any of them. So I'll go with the second option, where we return the value of the whole sum and use it. So return L of 0 plus, instead of calling it again, yeah, okay, sum of array list 1 to the last of it. So we're going to take the input. In the input, what do we need? Line 1 is an integer. So x is equals to int input size, and it is, yeah. So they're basically expecting us to, we didn't need this because in Python we don't really need to know how much space do we allocate in prior to making the array, because it's dynamically allocated. The whole language is based on dynamically allocation. So uh, we didn't need this, but anyway, since it's in the question, we're going to write it however. Uh, so the, yeah, int y, just for the sake of ambiguity, uh, unambiguity rather, I'm gonna make it like this. Int y is for y in input dot split, and this should work just fine. Print sum of array L 2 2 6 4 8 7 27. So like 2 6 4 10 20 27. Yeah, it's working fine. How about we take another approach? How about we take the other approach, in which we're going to like, what we're going to do is, first we were going to the depth, we were going to find the sum using the last element first. That's actually reverse of it. Like if we just put it like this, turn 0 here only, -1, till -1. I think it should work properly. It's one of the same thing. I was thinking it is different. It's not what I was thinking, but anyways, let's see. Since sum is like associative, you can put it forward and backward, backward and forward. It doesn't matter. It's for nothing. Two is a false value. 27. Yeah, so it's working fine. It's just working fine. So what I did here is paint. So what I did here, it was nothing. It was just a hack. So 6 elements, right? So here it was 2, 6, 8. Oh, 5 elements? Okay, never mind. Let's say it's 4, 7, and 3 here. It should be 30, right? So what I'm doing is I am calling a function till here, and I'm going to assume that it's going to return me a sum. I'm going to add it with this last array piece, like what do we call it? The last member of the array, the last number plus 3, and it's going to return our whatever it is, right? So in this, we're going to, like, if we go inside this part, it will call for this again inside that, and until it's the last one. Again, the length of array is 0, so return this one. It's just same as the one I did earlier. I picked the first one and I did it for the last. I was thinking wrong, I guess. Still, if you would want to do like go in depth, return the last and then add it to this. How would we do that? Okay, let's think about it. It's a good question again. We have to go to the last using recursion. Like we have to cross one by one, keep a tab called sum and keep adding to it. And once we reach the last member, we're going to return it. How would we do that? So first we're going to create something called sum, which is initially equal to 0, and then is it something local variable is here. We're going to use sum as something like that, and initially the sum is sum equals sum plus sum of array, and we're going to go till 1 is to rather 0 to -1. So we'll go till the last one and then we'll get out. And mm, I don't know, something is confusing here. So when we do this, initially the sum is equal to 0, and then when you're going to add sum of array, it's going to call. How do we reach this part recursively without touching it? It's like we need to get into this part first, and this part first, and this part. How are we supposed to do that? Like if I pass a, the only way to do it is like if I use it in the beginning like L -1, but I'm not reaching it this way. I'm going this way. I want to go this way. I don't want to use it like this. I want to use it like this. Like not this plus the whole array minus 0. I hope you get what I'm saying. I wanted to reach it like this whole array plus the last one. I want to go in this direction. Is this possible? I want to check. Guys, like if you're watching, I could use some help really. Okay, this is funny. How do we reach it? It's foolish. I'll think about it tomorrow and I'll let you know if I'm going to do it. Until then, we're just gonna do this, and this, and it's working, right? So we're just gonna save it like question number two. Save. Okay. Now let's open the third. Given an array of length n and an integer x, we need to find if x is present in that array. Okay, all right. So first we're going to function def check number. In that first we're going to pass that number and that list. Okay. If length of array, sorry, L is equal to 0, should be 1 again. I'm almost doing this. Return L0. Return L0. And then what we're going to do is we're going to check if it's X, right? So if it's going to return true or false, right? It's for the recursion. Now, before calling the recursion, we have to check for the first element, like because if the first element is true, then we can always say so. L of 0, if L of 0 is equal to X, then what we're going to do is we're going to return true. So what's gonna happen is explained. So what's gonna happen is like if you want to A B C X D, right? And this is the memory stack that we're going to put in. First, we're going to check for A. So this way, we're going to make sure that everything is checked in first hand. Since there is no probability function which is going to tell that it's going to be in the beginning side, or it's going to be in the end side, or in the middle. So we're just going to do it from the start, or we're going to if you would have done it from the end, it would have I don't think so it would have made any sort of difference. So we checked it's not X, so we're going to call check for AB like the rest of the array, and we're going to assume that it knows what it's going to do, and we're going to assume that it's correct. We did for the base condition when the only section, like what the only member in array left is like the length of array is only 1, then we're going to return, like check that. This is where I went wrong. If uh, who else return false. Yeah, so now I think it's fine. We're going to check for the first, we're going to check for the base. It's like if it's X, like here, it's going to be D, I know. But before going that, we'll reach here. Suppose the last is X, it's going to check it's true, and then it's going to tell everything. Yeah, it's true, it's true, it's true, it's true. So yeah, first we're going to rely on that. So we are waiting over here. We did this, we did this. So we're waiting over here. Suppose this is like 10 of this. And then it's going to call from 1. Now from B, C, D, we know that B is not X. Then we're going to wait for 10. Like from that, in the memory, it's going to be like some X plus 10. This is going to be some Y plus 10. It's not this X. It's not this X. Please don't confuse it. I'd rather say it's A and B, B and C plus 10 for C also. But then when it's going to reach X, it's going to say that it's true. Now we have an answer for this check number for C, this section, right? So when it's going to return to this memory, this address in the memory, it's going to say, yeah, I'm true. I'm going to return true then. Then it returns to this, and then it returns to this, and then it's going to return true. I think it should work. So what we're going to do, we're going to write the driver code. We're going to, what was the input again? Line 1 words, okay. Line 1, line 1 is equals to int input, and line 2 was n. Okay, so this is okay. This is the list. Int n for n in input dot split, and then this is the integer x is equals to int input. By default, the input is actually set to a string. So like if I don't write int, it's going to take it as a string, and then we're going to have problems here because type issues. Then we're going to call, we're going to print rather, print check number. I'll try running it. So 3, I don't know, I'm going to put more. 2. Also, I should, oh, I made it check number at, okay. Okay. I know why it's coming like this. Then give it over here. X comma L to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I want to check for 5. True. But if 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I want to check for 9. It's returning me none instead of false. And why is that? Why would that be? Because I'm not specifying that if it's not true here, then what is it supposed to be? Else it return false. I think it should fix it. If not, we'll troubleshoot it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to check for 8. False. Yeah. So the problem was I was not telling what it is it's supposed to do with the L0. Like if this is not, oh, where is it? Where is it? Suppose this number is not X and this is E. It goes over here, it goes over here, and in the last also it sees it's not F, but it's in the base condition. It should have returned a false, then false and false and false and false and false. What if I remove this part? Let's just see. It's returning false. So it did not need over here. Okay. Okay, now this is intriguing me. Why is it happening like this? Why is it happening like this? It shouldn't be happening like this. You can do check a new page. This is A, B, C, D, E. We don't have X in it. So according to the previous code, I'm not talking about this one, I'm talking about the previous code that I wrote. It should be like first it should check A. Since A is not X, it should go and check for the rest of the arrows. So it's going to check for B, it's going to go at C. See, I found a problem with this code. So even if it's there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's what? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we know it's there, but it's not the first letter, so it's going to say false. So this is garbage. There is a big flaw in this. Let's see. So C, and then it's going to check for D, and then it's going to check for E. Now this is the last element. Okay, this is the only element left in the array, and the length of array is now 1. So it should check here, and then it should say that no. That no, it's not X. It should return false. So when it returns false, it says, okay, got it. So what I'm doing is if it's true, then I return true, but I'm not telling if it's false, what should I do? So I'm just gonna do else return false. This is where I was wrong. All our time wasted for this stuff. Anyways, at least we got to know how I was wrong and how it's going to work. I think it's going to work now. Two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then first we're going to check for 3. Yes, it's returning. And then we're going to run the file again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to check for 9 and it's returning false. So yeah, there's this. Nice. So we're going to save this as 3. Save. I'm actually enjoying this. Yeah, don't save. Here also new. We did the third question, right? Okay, so we're going to do the fourth question now. Don't save. Hey, it's nice like this. I'd rather expand it more here. Like, yeah, like this. So, given an array of length n and an integer x, you need to find and return the first index of integer x present in array. Return -1 if it's not present in the array. Okay, so it's the same as the last question. So in last question, what we could do is we could approach either way. We could go from here to the last or from last to the first, right? But in this question, we can't do like this. So what we have to do, we have to start from here. We have to start from here. We're going to check if the index is as it seems, and then we return it. Else, what we're going to do is going to return -1 if it's not present in the whole area, right? So first we're going to do the define the function, right? Function def return index. So we're going to pass the number and the list. Please don't confuse between list and an array. In this case, it's the same thing. It's not actually same. List is different, array is different in Python. Like if someday someone asks, I will let you know. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to write the base case first. The base case is if length of L is equal to 1. What we're going to do is I need a new keyboard. I need a better keyboard. I'm using an Amazon Basics keyboard. Come on. If length is this, we're going to check if L of, since it's the only character left, we know it's the L of 0, rather 0 of L is equal to X. We're going to return. Okay, now this is where it gets tricky. I would not know the How would I know the uh, index if it's the last? I mean, I'm shortening the array every time I go towards the end. So I'm going to maintain an index. So this index will help me tell that until now, like if I'm here, the index is 0, and if I'm here, index is 1, 2, 3, 5, right? So initially index should be 0, and then uh, index is going to be 1, index is going to be 2, 3, and as we pass on, so in the last, when length of array is actually 0, we will know the real index is 5. So we need to return index, else we're going to return -1. Okay. So next part is to check if the first element is the x or not. So if L of 0 equals to x, then we return index. If not, what we're going to do is we're going to return what our function has to say about it. Now index is supposed to be index, this one. I think this should work. So we'll quickly write our driver code. Our driver code requires uh, like that. All right. Line 1 unnecessary, but still we're going to write it because it's required in the question. And put, and next is the list. List is supposed to be like int n for all n in input dot split explicit split, and then what was it, the integer x? Yeah, the integer x is supposed to be int and put, and then we're going to run the code, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to print the ret underscore index function and the x l, and initially index is 0. I hope it works because it should. What? It's built. Okay. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say it should return 3. All right. Well, oh, okay, I forgot. My bad. and let's check for 8. It should return 7. So it's working. So let's see if the number is not there. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to check for 8. So it's returning -1. So it's not there. Okay, so this is working. We're going to save this as 4. Next question. Where are you? Let me close this. It's the same. It's the same question. I'm not going to do much work. I'm just going to tell you what I'm thinking of doing. So, yep. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, as we can see, we can't just simply do it like this. So, we're going to check the last and then put the arrow this way. And we're going to call for the rest of the array like this. And yeah, that's that. Instead of -1, just a simple code change. I think it should change. I'm going to check for 8 first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It should have shown. Okay, now there's a problem that I was not expecting. I was thinking like if I just simply reverse it, like check it from the last. Oh yeah, of course. Initially, index is not supposed to be 0. It's supposed to be length. Uh, L -1. Let's do it now. It should do. And we're going to check for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Eh, It's supposed to show 10, but it's showing 9. So why is that? Hmm. We're doing index -1. Sorry, +1 over here. So we will have to change over here also. We didn't change over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 8, and then 9. Okay. Let's check for a simple number. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's check for 9. It should show 8. Okay. It's working like this. Let's do a smaller number so that we don't have to count every time. I'm going to check for 4. It should return 5. Yeah. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's working. Okay, so the mistake I did was forgot to change the index value. I just changed this. So I'm gonna save this. Okay. Oh no 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 no! You're not supposed to save over 4. You were supposed to save as a different copy of 4, and I messed up bad. I'm just gonna copy this code. I'm gonna do undo over here. Uh, yeah, save. We're gonna save that as 5. Okay, so these are 5 easy questions, right? What's with the X, bro? I can say that this guy is stuck with his ex. He can't move on. He's trying to remove X one day. So, given a string compute recursively a new string where all X characters have been removed. Ooh, nice one. X. So, we're going to check this. If it's not X, we move on to check this. Like we call to check for this. But if it is X, suppose just saying if it is X, we're going to write L equals to, rather let's do it because then we can just simply append to that, or we can remove, how to remove stuff from array. Let's check. Okay, yeah, we use pop function. Yeah, and can use this first occurrence. Okay. If I remember, there was this a problem with pop. I don't remember. Okay, let's try the pop function first, and then we're going to talk about how we're going to implement in this question. That array equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. Okay, never mind. Some commas, and then we're going to print L, and then we're going to do L dot pop. Um, I don't know what it's going to pop. Let's do X. It's supposed to be an index. I don't know. The second element. Acha, okay, we're supposed to type the index. Okay. So I'm going to pop the first element and then I'm going to print L. X is not defined. Of course. It's my bad, sir. Sorry, sir. Okay, X was there, X is not there. So we can definitely pop from between and it's not going to cause an issue. I'm sorry, I forgot about this. I didn't use it. Again, this is what happens when you code after a year or so. Anyways, so we're going to first hash function. So def rem item. I don't know. What do we want from it? We want X and what we're going to do is um yeah, we're going to write the base case. I'm sorry, I blacked out for a second. I was actually listening to the music as well now, so a good part came. I was focusing on that. Yeah, so the question was find that characters and remove it. Okay, all instances should be removed. So the base case should be like if the length of the array is 1, so length of L is equal to 1 if but how are we supposed to like return to that function that the new value of L is this? Okay, before we move on, just gonna copy paste. Yeah. So if we do something like that, can we do it like this? L is equals to L dot pop one. I want to see. I want to see how it works. Oh, okay. So this pop function also returns what has been popped away, the content. And now we lost our L, of course. So how do I return it? Hmm. Okay, I got something. So if L of 0 equals to X, we're just going to return uh, L dot pop 0, and then we're going to return L. And this is the base case. Now we're going to check for L of 0, and if L of 0 equals to X, then we're going to L dot pop, and then we're going to check for remaining remove item X comma L, because see now the L has been at the X, the 0th index, if it is there, it's already removed, and it shouldn't return anything, right? Okay, it should return L. What we're going to do is return this. It should go to the last, check it, and then return the L. I don't have a good feeling about this. I'm just doing it with the flow. Like in the back of my mind, I'm just like, when we read this, and when we check for this, and then we check for this, and then we pop it, and then it's reduced, and then we go check for this until the last. Can we append? Of course, print. Okay, so 0 is added to it, and I guess it should work. What am I doing? I'm actually tired, guys. That's it. So the driver code should be like, first we're going to take the input format as string s. So output format is like that. All right, got it. We're going to return all the contents. This is supposed to be separated by space. No, I read the whole question wrong. Come on, yeah. Okay, L equals to or X and what dot split, and then UL is equals to be removing item X and the L and for all N in L. Separator can't be empty, right? Of course. Oh, of course. I am such a fool. I'm actually brain dead this time. How is it out of range? What the hell? If length of uh, L. Hmm. Somebody help me. Okay, so what I was thinking is definitely not happening, and I don't know. Let's think of something else. And after that, we're going to troubleshoot it. I know it's a simple question, it's taking more time than it should take, but hey, welcome to computer science. I literally have zero views. I'm talking in the air. Okay, let's do this. So we have some string, and suppose we have x over here, we have x over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to L is equals to return answer of this. We're going to make sure that it's this part goes to the recursion. We're going to assume that it's already fixed. We have to worry about only this. So we're going to check there. This L1, this is L2. So if L1 is having X, and so we're going to return L2 plus L1 if it's not there and if X is there. Alright. And what is the base case when the length is 1? So it can return an empty array, right? So it's going to return an empty array. I don't understand. Why is it? It should work. Oh, silly me. What? I thought we took care of the base. All right. So, guys, I think it's time for me to sleep. I'll continue with this question tomorrow. We're going to meet at same time, 10 o'clock tomorrow. And see you guys. Thank you so much for coming. And yeah, I'll try to fix it tomorrow. And I promise I will not think about any solution prior to that. I'll think it with you. All right. Bye.